This is the slideshow version of how we went to Romania to buy a car. This is us on the morning of departure. You're going to see photos showing stuff you won't have seen before. And like having to fill up the nipper because our train had been cancelled, so we had to drive to another train station. But on the plus side, I managed to find my own magazine for sale in a shop, so that was good. Then we went to the airport, and it has to be said, I don't like flying. And look, that's Rich in the background getting his bags checked already. But that was our plane, and soon we were on said plane and flying above Warwickshire on our way to Bulgaria. That's Sofia, that's the big coach that was waiting for us. And then we got our first glimpses of Sofia. And in the morning it didn't look quite so glamorous. But nonetheless, we went spotting. And I can't even remember what that is, but we did see it. We saw trams variously as well, lovely old trucks. I think that was a Kamaz, and yeah, I got overexcited at the sight of a little van. But I think that was a Daewoo badged one. Mercedes dustbin lorry I thought was particularly nice. Daewoo Tico, the predecessor of the Matiz. And yeah, Sofia, a lovely town you definitely need to explore. Citroen C6 we spotted unexpectedly, and a Starlet just like the one I had back home, and a Lada Niva. This is just going to be a very quick bit of spotting going on. A right hand drive Daihatsu Move, and another huge Kamaz lorry. And yeah, have we gone to Russia by mistake? We're just checking out this lovely Lada estate, but then we found a British Rover. You just never know what you'll find, and a very colourful Mercedes. And Peugeot 206 with a boot. We're not used to seeing those. And this is the Trabant that Vladimir there is trying to get Rich to buy. We almost did buy it. This is an old Steyr truck we saw, and there was a school prom going on, so there were all sorts of cars going on. And I thought I had more photos, but maybe it's video. And that was the last car we spotted in Sofia, because then we jumped on a coach for 7 hours to get to Bucharest, spotting all sorts of wonderful machinery along the way and going across all manner of funky viaducts. And yeah, the Bulgarian language is quite difficult to decipher. And beautiful Wartburg there, along with some more modern vans, a Lada saloon. We basically spent 7 hours spotting stuff, lovely street scenes in Bulgaria. That's a Tata Indica, what we got as the City Rover in the UK. That's a Cetra with a great paint job. And yeah, we started to see lots more Matizes as we approached Bucharest. We're still in Bulgaria at the moment though. Quite a few Dacias about, of course, as you'd expect. Standard street scene with Matiz and lots of boring modern cars. Another Matiz. Basically I just spotted Matizes. That's the first car we spotted in Romania, a Dacia Slenza. And that's our mate picking us up in his Suzuki Wagon R. And Golden Arrow, sold as Dacias in the UK. Another Daewoo Tico. All these are coming thick and fast. That's filling our hire car up with LPG. And that's us waiting before we went to see the Mighty Dacia. And that's the next project of the kid who restored ours. It's a tiny little kitten he had as well. And there's Rich doing the handover with Claudiu and his sister. Yes, and yeah, that was just afterwards. I found a flag for we'll pose here. Now I'm in my proud Dacia Classic hat. So with the sticker on the Mighty Dacia, we could begin the journey. And it began by spewing screen wash everywhere. That was a good start. And this is with Claudiu the next day, trying to fix the gear linkage. Fit the plate to stop it going in reverse. That's another Arrow, a long wheelbase one. What a beast. And a Daewoo Espero. Very rare spot. I don't even know where that is. But we did find some amazing roadside spots like these old Fiats and this old Mercedes just parked up outside an old hotel. And we stopped here specifically to take this photo. Yes, it was actually an Oltcit. Just as we were about to leave Romania, we found one. That's a fairly early Dacia 1300, a Roman diesel. And I think that was the last view of Romania across the Danube. No, that was a view of Serbia. And then we crossed over, and this is on the Serbian side. and Rich saying, "Look at your homeland, Mighty Dacia." And we also found a Yugo, which I quite liked. And here I am with another Yugo. Yes, all good. And also cats hidden under Lada Nevas. So yeah, we took some final shots along the Danube. We drove through many tunnels. We discovered the headlamps were remarkably poor once we were inside the tunnels. And where did we go next? Oh yes, that's our Airbnb for the night. That was lovely. That's Rich trying the local delicacies. How hot is that, Rich? Well, quite strong, the local brew. That was the view from nearby. This is their the house owners had a Dacia, so we got a shot of that. That was a Toyota we found nearby, along with this old truck which looked like it was still in use. We've got a Zastava pickup, very rare. Late Zastava, facelifted, we never saw those. Another tiny cat. We are slightly obsessed with cats. And there we go, ready to start another journey as we drove through Serbia, and on our way to Belgrade, overheating as usual. We saw a very funky Fiat Panda van, and this was in Bosnia, just after we'd been stopped by the police. I was a bit wound up by that. And that was our hotel in Bosnia, which had this glass roof, which is the last thing you want in a really hot country. But there was a friendly cat, so it was alright. Next morning wouldn't start, so it was out with the spark plugs, and look at the state of that, all choked up. And oh, hello George. George has come to say hello. Don't tread on the keyboard. Yeah, filling up. There you go. I don't know how much that is, but that's how much we put in. And this is just approaching the Croatian border, where we went to see this very proud man at a Lidl and spotted a Mazda MX-3 in the car park, along with a Volkswagen Beetle a bit further on. And Croatia, quite scary. Lots of war damage still in Croatia. It really is quite humbling. And you're driving past these places just imagining the horror of not all that long ago. This is certainly within my lifetime. Then we got stopped by the police in Croatia as well. And Croatia was hot. That's Rich trying to cool down on a motorway. But we stopped in this lovely Airbnb near Zagreb. Got a lovely view of the roof of our car. Next day, the car got too hot again. Fuel issues as ever, but we found some lovely lanes to go down in Slovenia. And we liked Slovenia an awful lot. That's Nova Vas. You can get a Dacia Nova, so I just parked next to it. And that's checking a map to see how to get to Slovenia. That was a young lady driving a tractor. We were quite taken by her, and this is our stop in Slovenia, where we again got stopped by the police. That's parking up for the night before we had some food. We filled up with some Panther oil the next day, and we filled up with cups of tea as well. Gratefully received. And yeah, off we went into the Slovenian mountains. Just absolutely breathtaking. What a beautiful country. And it wasn't just the scenery that was good. We also went to a Lidl and found this Fiat 850 Coupe, which was unexpected. I don't know where that is. That's an interesting picture. I think that was just before we started the big climb into the mountains to cross into Italy. Glacial waters there. Absolutely stunning. And this is down the other side, I'm guessing, as we got a Piaggio Ape or Ape. Yes, this is definitely landing in Italy. And going, woo, mountains. We'd seen lots of mountains. Lovely snowplow equipped Land Rover at the filling station. And then I had a gorgeous dinner date for the evening. Yes, we had a lovely time. Lancia Flavia, I think. And and this is in Chamonix. We're jumping ahead a bit, where we felt completely out of place. But still a wonderful place to visit. Two-door Range Rovers, which we didn't see in the UK after a certain date. They carried on elsewhere, but Chamonix is quite breathtaking. Adjusting the fuel lines before we set off again. Off we go. And I decided to get some pictures of the Dacia just driving around Chamonix, just for the heck of it. And yeah, what a place. Here's Rich endlessly driving around a roundabout, just so I could get that shot of Chamonix sign. And then we followed an XM down off the mountain. We couldn't keep up. We did find yards of amazing old cars, And then a classic car run came the other way. I think that's a Simca Vedette at the front, with Renault Caravelle behind, Renault 8 with a Mercedes 190 SL behind it, the 4-cylinder version, and an Audi 100 Coupe with a Porsche 911 behind it, all looking very French with their yellow headlamps. And at the back, Dacia! And then its arch rival, the Renault 4. We followed that one for a while, and parked up next to a Lancia Vita, I think. That's a gorgeous beige Renault 5, I think that's why we stopped. A Skoda Favourite, I took that photo not knowing I would own a Favourite. And shabby 205s really are still a French scene. That was one time the car wouldn't restart and there was a thunderstorm coming. That was scary, and then it really did absolutely hammer it down. Double Dacia moment, and a Citroen BX spot in lovely beige, and a TZ model judging by the rear windows. Yeah, we went to look at this cathedral, and then we got a boat, or ferry as they're more traditionally called, and this was the ferry back to Blighty, and yeah, we were welcomed back with this gorgeous sunset. But now it was over really, we were back to the UK, so there was one last Citroen DS spot at the border control, and then it was one last Favourite before going home. That's with a Duster at Dacia Fest in August. But that's it really. Thank you very much for watching another video on the Dacia. There it is with its UK plates. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I shall see you again in a future video. Farewell.